Many years ago, a young spiritual seeker embarked on a pilgrimage, traversing the entire country in order to finally satisfy her soul's deepest longing. Determined to uncover the truth of her being, this spirited woman finds refuge within a community of magical tree creatures. Surely these ancient wisdom holders can relieve my suffering, she thinks to herself. And after months of apprenticeship, our human sapling is overjoyed to finally receive her sacred instructions. Chop wood, carry water. But after a moment of contemplation, joy is quickly replaced by frustration. Chop wood, carry water? This isn't a secret teaching. This is too simple. Do you mean to tell me that I traveled all this way just to live a normal life? I don't want normal. I want the Big Bang. I want to be free. And you're telling me that doing chores is somehow the secret to life? What's next? Are you going to say that the entire universe is contained within the simplicity of the present moment? This has got to be some kind of cosmic joke. And after a moment of silence, the trees, full of infinite compassion, reply, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Which means that there's really only one question left to ask, and that is, what am I going to do with all this wood? As someone with an active imagination and the tendency to get lost inside my own mind, the fantasy of living alone in a tiny fairy cabin nestled inside a magical old-growth forest, well, it sounds incredible. No stress, no worries, I'm living simply. It's just me, my dog, and the trees. All right, where do I sign up? I'll see you later, society. I'm going to be living the good life in the forest. But as they say, everywhere you go, there you are. And I'm starting to realize that getting what I think I want is not going to satisfy my soul's deepest longing. And even though I thought that escaping to the forest would solve all my problems, here I am, stuck inside my own mind, same as always. I'm neurotic, I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm mad at the world. And worst of all, I've got nothing to distract me from myself. I should move to the city. Maybe then I'll finally be happy. But in all seriousness, the best/worst thing about living in solitude is that it has forced me to confront myself. And I'm talking all of myself. The messiness, the trauma, the anxiety, the darkness. I've learned the hard way that there is nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. And that the only way I'm going to experience the fullness of life is if I stop running, sit down, get quiet, and face the music. I think one of the hardest things about being a creator, about being a manifester, about being someone who is actively pursuing the evolution of their being is this idea of letting go. So I guess what's on my heart is I'm mourning the loss of this cabin and the closing of this chapter, leaving this forest. Feels like this is where I was born. It feels like this is all I've ever known. Like I have pretty much my entire transition has been in this forest and in this cabin. This is where I discovered myself and what it means to be me. Like, it's a very small cabin. It's only 200 square feet, but it feels like being encased, kind of like being inside of a seed or inside of some sort of shell. And it feels like I've been just being here for so many years. It feels like I was planted into the earth. I've spent so much of my time here feeling incredibly safe, feeling held by my environment, and the time has come to move on, and that makes me sad. This is the first time in my whole life that I've had my own space, having permission to just be myself. This is truly like the first time I've ever felt that and tasted that. And I got to decorate, and I got to get furniture, and it's like I came out as trans and my whole life just fell apart. And then I was kind of implanted into this situation, and that's where I've been ever since. I feel like a little kid, in the sense that it's like, okay, now I've grown up and it's time to leave home. And it's time to say goodbye to everything I've ever known. Reflecting back, I'm realizing the importance of honoring each stage of the journey. Honoring when I was in the closet. Honoring when I was unaware of my gender truth. Honoring when I was a complete disaster. But that's how it goes. We got to take those beginning steps, right? We got to be seen in all of our vulnerable glory. And I'm realizing that I needed to be in the forest for a lot of years. I needed to retreat. I needed to have this time away where I'm not connected to society. I don't have relationships or friends. I'm not on social media. I'm not watching the news. It was I'm alone for years. And that can eat at you. At least it did for me. I'm happy that I had this opportunity. I just wanted to express that gratitude for the beauty of the forest and the safety and the importance of community. And for me, the forest has been my community for the past few years.